Hi everyone, this is going to be a first impressions and swatches video for LORAC's upcoming Pro Contour Kit. And this is available through Ulta. If you are a Platinum member, you had a chance to purchase this maybe about a week ago. And for all other purchasers, it will be available through Ulta on June 14th. This kit retails for $45 on Ulta's website. And as you can see, it comes with a brush in addition to the palette itself. As always, please go to allurabeauty.com if you want to see a full written review of this palette after I test it and wear it throughout the day. That link to the review will be in the description box for you, as well as a link to where you can purchase this. Alright, I hope you're subscribed. Let's get looking at swatches. Okay, so let's take a look at the brush first. About a medium-sized brush, not small or not overly large. In comparison to the size of my palm, this is what it looks like. It is a flat brush here, so you can kind of see how wide it is, and it is made with very soft, or what seems like very soft, synthetic bristles. And I think I will actually go ahead and use this brush for the swatches in this video so that I can give you both a review on the powders themselves and the brush, since it comes with the kit. Alright, and inside the kit you get a mirror, and then you get these 6 shades. So in the top row we have our highlighting shades. Beige and yellow highlight are matte powders, and then on the right here is the shimmer highlight. Then in the second row we start again with the light and deep contour. Not sure why they go light, deep, and then medium, but in any case it appears that they are all matte. Okay, so I'm going to start with the beige highlight. This is so pigmented. It's also the brush. It really does a good job of picking up plenty of the product. And this does have a matte finish. It's pretty neutral in tone, although it is light, which isn't surprising since it's supposed to be a highlighter. Next up is yellow beige, which you can see has a distinctly more yellow undertone to it. This one probably won't appear as well on my skin just because it matches my skin much better since I do have yellow undertones. I can add just a little more product. It doesn't need it, but just because my skin is similar to this color, I want to try to build it up for other people to be able to see a little better. And third, we have the shimmer highlight, which is a pale frosty cream. It has the slightest hint of pink. And the shimmer is really nicely and finely milled, so you're not getting a really reflective, glittery look on the skin. Get more of a iridescent sheen. Okay, so here are the highlighters up close, swatched with the brush. You have your beige highlight, yellow highlight, and your shimmer highlight. Now moving on to the contour shades. We start with light contour. This one seems to be pretty neutral in tone, although sometimes I only see the tones when it's next to something else that has a different tone to it, but for now it looks pretty neutral. Next we have deep contour. So you can see the difference in the depth of color. See, now that I'm looking at these side by side, this is the kind of color I would absolutely use for contouring to create shadows and hollows in the face. So I want to say this one actually looks, it's not too gray toned actually, but the depth of color is certainly appropriate more, at least on my skin tone, for contouring. And then this is the kind of shade that I would use for bronzing. So over larger planes of the face, just to add color where the sun would naturally hit and create a more bronzed effect. And then we have medium contour. I almost want to say that this has, it's hard for me to describe the tone in here. It's sort of like a mix of a gray and a pink. Because now that I'm swatching medium contour, this looks a little more like, for at least my yellow undertone skin, would be the better bronzing shade. And it's certainly more yellow undertoned, so it's not as good for contouring as this shade would be, at least on my skin. So yeah, I kind of want to see this as more maybe reddish or pink toned. But anyway, you decide for yourself which tones would suit you and your skin color and skin tone. Here they are up close. Alright, and so that I can swatch them heavily for you, I will do the same colors, swatching them with my fingers. So we have beige highlight, yellow highlight, again sort of blends pretty well into my skin, and the shimmer highlight. Okay, I layered a second layer on there so you can see it a little better. And then we have the light contour, deep contour, and the medium contour. Okay, so here those are up close, and I can tell you by picking the powders up with my fingers and feeling them directly, they are so super silky and soft. Alright, so there's LORAC's contour kit. And if you haven't seen my other reviews for contouring kits, I did one exclusively for the Kat Von D contouring kit. I may have done a couple of others for just single kits. And then I also did a video where I compared a bunch of different popular contouring kits against each other. And if any of you have seen those videos, you probably know that my personal favorite is the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. And I have to say that this contour kit from LORAC might disrupt that sort of ranking. My first impressions of this kit is very, very, very positive. So I will let you know in the written review what I think in terms of comparing it to my personal favorite one from Kat Von D. The powders are really soft, they are smooth, they're creamy, they apply evenly. Now remember that I did use the brush that's in front of you to do those swatches, so I will definitely also test the powders using different types of brushes just to make sure that it's not performing really well just because I'm using this brush. But I do want to make something clear. If you have seen any of my other videos, especially my video and my monthly favorites video in the same month that I reviewed the NARS Dual Intensity blushes, you probably know my opinion on companies selling brushes that they market as needing to be used with a certain product. And that's what happened with the NARS Dual Intensity blushes. Is NARS sold those blushes individually, and then separately they also sold a brush that they said you should use with the blushes. And I really was not impressed with most of those blushes, and I just don't believe in having to buy an extra product from the company in order to make another product from that company perform well. So when I got comments like, well, you should try to swatch them or use them with the NARS brush, my response to it is that no, I shouldn't have to. I should be able to use any good quality brush with a makeup product, and I shouldn't be forced to give more of my money to a company in order to make another one of their products perform decently or well. That is sort of a different situation from this situation because the brush comes with the kit. It's not that the kit is $45 and then you have to buy the brush separately, which I think is pretty awesome. A, because I suspect that the powder formulas in this kit are really good independently and that they will perform well using other brushes too. Although, you know, disclaimer, I do need to 100% confirm that by testing it with other brushes. But just by the way they feel on the skin, they seem to be very soft and smooth, like I said. So not only because the powders in this palette or this kit seem to be independently good quality, but because the brush itself is fantastic too. The bristles are super soft, they are smooth, they apply the product smoothly and blend it into the skin without doing a lot of work actually. Because when I first saw the brush I was like, that looks like maybe it won't be really suitable to applying powders in this manner, but actually it seems like it might work really well. Again, of course, this is my first impression. I will confirm. My only sort of point of hesitation, I think, is that the brush maybe, I'm used to buffing out products in more of a circular motion to blend them out and diffuse them, and you probably won't be able to do that with this type of brush because it's flat. So I will make sure to let you know how it performs and what sort of kinks or anything you might come across when using this type of brush. But anyway, my point is that I love that they have included a really good quality brush with the palette, but that the palette itself can also stand alone and you won't have to be forced to use this brush. And conversely, that you could use the brush probably with a lot of other products that you have, whether they're from LORAC or any other company. So those are my first impressions. I guess I should talk more specifically about the powders themselves, so let me go back to that. The powders, I really like them because they have great pigmentation. And this is something I also mentioned in reviewing the other contouring kits, is something like Anastasia's contour kit I was not that impressed by, especially with the highlighting shades, because I didn't find that the highlighters actually showed up on the skin because they didn't have enough pigmentation. And since they were matte, they ended up just looking like nothing or being used as setting powders as opposed to actually bringing out planes of the face. These powders have very good pigmentation, and I think they may even have better pigmentation than the ones in the Kat Von D palette, which also have good pigmentation. So yeah, the formula is great. I like the colors a lot also. A very solid kit, and I think I'll really enjoy this. Of course, please check the description box below for the link to the review to confirm my first impressions. Let me know what you think if you get your hands on this palette, or if you were able to get it earlier by being an Ulta Platinum member. I would love to read your comments in the comment section below. I hope that this was helpful to you and that you enjoyed the video. Thanks for taking the time to watch, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. So this is shade 900 Phantom Pink, 905 Pink Pow,